Hello everyone, friends, welcome everybody to this channel where I give my humble opinion, nothing but my humble opinion on classic action figures of beloved characters of, movies, anime, stuff like that. From head to toe, back and forth, everything, the whole hood of caboodle. Today I thought about showing you something that I've been cooking up for a little while. And it's none other than one of our favorite bold characters. I'm not talking about Kratos, I'm not talking about Charles Xavier, The Rock, none of them. Even though we still love them, I personally do, it's not any of them. But rather, as you saw in the intro, it's none other than Krillin from Dragon Ball Z right here. The strongest human on earth by SH Figuarts. So I'm really excited to show you guys this figure right here. I've been setting this up for a little bit for you guys because I wanted to make a little mix of new things on the video for you later on. You'll see, I've been cooking up things, for a little bit, all for you guys right here. So I'm really excited to show you guys this figure. We're gonna go to the classic protocol, joints, articulation, paint job, posting the whole hood of caboodle. So bear with me until the end, and I'll be showing you what you can do with this figure, which is just absolutely amazing. Stick with me to the end. I'll see you there. Alrighty, so here we are once more with our beloved Krillin. So I want to take a few minutes to look at the package itself. As you can see, it has a really nice presentation and contrast, a nice mix of orange with white, and a few gray areas that gives us a little bit of a spoiler as to what's to come inside of the package, posing, whatnot. And then the back, which really displays the features or some of the most prominent features that you can expect from the figure. So it is a really nice packaging. And I wanted to take this opportunity as a quick tutorial to show you pretty much how I go about opening my packages. So you can see right here that on this side, the hard part of the box overlaps this side, and there's a tape here. But I do not like to cut from this side. Rather, I like to go around to where the plastic goes. Just follow the plastic. Where there's more plastic, that's usually where I attack, like the quote-unquote vulnerable part. So right here, I've already cut this part of the lid because I believe, in my opinion, it is the part where you want to slide the package out from. As opposed to this part, because if you were to do so, over time, opening, closing it, over and over in a repetitive manner will wrinkle this part of the box. So you don't really want that. Not a big deal, but it's not really a nice looking, box if you do that. Whereas on this side, you can take a little bit more of a risk and then just stick your finger in here and then just pull the upper and lower parts of the lid open. And then I just reach right here with my fingertip for the edge of the plastic, the packaging. I slowly slide it out, and bang, we have our Krillin right here inside the package. Well, very nicely packed. We can see that there's a lot of things going on here, from facial expressions, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to different hand pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of hands. There's an extra one right here, which I believe is Krillin's hand holding a sensu bean bag. Now, if we let go of an accessory part that's on the back, we can see that it's Krillin's signature move right here, the power effect. Now, we have Krillin. What I like to do every time I actually unpack a figure is to go really nice and slow and gentle from each corner, because these packages have built-in pressure, and if you just pop the lid right out, all of this thing is gonna pop right alongside it. So you don't want your hands and all of that falling out. So I like to just go slow, corner by corner, boom. And then once you manage to, kind of get the pressure off all sides, then you can kind of pop it out, and you won't have a mess happening around you. So there you go. There's our Krillin. Now let's go to him. Now I'm going to borrow Krillin's hand, number 18. I hope you didn't get angry at me and destroy me. Just kidding. For those of you who have watched Dragon Ball Z and know what I'm talking about, we have our handsome bald guy here, Krillin. So, lots of things going on here. Beautiful orange right here. That blue, it's absolutely great. Very, very solid figure. Very compact, actually. I want to show you what I mean by the word compact. First and foremost, we're gonna go from head to toe as usual, but I'm gonna save my little Krillin down here, and I'm going to compare his dimensions with the last figure I made a video of, which is Bruce Lee right here. Okay, hold on tight, Bruce. There you go. And then I'm also gonna put him side by side with the very first character that I used for my very first video, which is Perfect Cell. Alright, so as you can see, Krillin's proportions are really, really loyal to the manga and the anime, in the way that he's very short, you know? When I put him right next to Bruce Lee, he pretty much reaches Bruce's shoulders height. But when I put him right in front of Cell, you can just see that it's just below his chest. So the proportions on Krillin are very, very accurate, and I'm very pleased with that because it is a very compact figure, and that creates a lot of stability for the figure itself. But we'll get to that in a minute. So first off, I want to start with the head. This is a very, very beautiful sculpted ball head. They say that doing this brings you good luck, so try on your own. But anyways, due to Krillin's anamorphic characteristics, his head is obviously bigger than the rest of his body, but that's in no way a negative comment. On the contrary, he's very much Krillin, and I love that about himself. I'm gonna go back to the head in just a little bit and the neck. I usually start with the joints, and I will do the neck. But since it's one of the biggest focus points that I like to focus on, I'm gonna come back to it in just a little bit and then just go through the rest of the body and the articulations and whatnot. So from the chest side of things right here, we can see that it has a lot of nice foldings on what is supposed to be his cloth, his martial arts cloth. We have a forward bend and then a backward extension, and then some foldings underneath the torso part division right here. Really nice, well done. If we turn them to the back, we can also see the logo of the Turtle School right here by Master Roshi, which is also right here on the side of his chest by his heart. So the back is wide. It's really nice, well done, also with foldings. If we turn again to the front, we can see that it has some movement to the side, left and right, left and right. Although it can rotate on its own angle of the wrist on the waist, I wouldn't recommend to try and force it to go 360 degrees because I can already feel the resistance of the plastic. I can already hear and feel some like squeaky motions and sounds. So I wouldn't force the figure past its angle of rotation. Not really wise to do unless you want to hear an awful pop and break the figure. So you don't want that. For the shoulders, this is a really nice detail that they added to the shoulders. It has like a couple of layers right here on the shoulders. You can see 1, 2, and then 1, 2. They have a little bit of movement, you know, and they are intended to cover the little short sleeve t-shirt that it has, the navy blue right here, which also has a little bit of movement. Really nice, well done. For the arms, we have the bicep right here, the joint, which can rotate 360 degrees, no problem. The elbow, great articulation right here, up and down, as well as for the wrist. You can fully rotate. Same for the other arm. However, I wouldn't try and force this joint, the shoulder joint specifically, to go 360 degrees around and across, because it is also a very fragile part. Although you can do it, I wouldn't go and try that past the blue sleeve right here. This is a no-no. The orange part, that is. It seems to be very fragile, but other than that, is great. The ways we've already done that, do not try to force it 360 degrees. It has a lot of resistance on its own to forbid you from doing so. Now for the hip joint slash legs, we have these joints right here that are very, very flexible. You know, full extension to the side, to the front, full kick, to the back, excellent motion. Now I want to bring back our good old friend Bruce Lee to illustrate a point. Now, when I turn this figure to the back, you can see that right here, this part of the pants is a little bit narrower than Bruce Lee's is. And this is what I mean by this. You see how Bruce Lee's looks like a diaper, like I said in the other video. Well, Krillin's doesn't as much, and that allows for this guy to have a wider range of motion, when kicking back like this. As opposed to Bruce Lee, that was very limited by a wider pant structure on the back, covering the glutes. Now, on the legs, on the front, and a little bit above the legs on the waist, we have the little belt right here that has a little bit of movement right here to create like a wind effect, which is really nice and smooth. Don't try to force it too much. It's a very, very thin, piece, so you don't want to force it too much or be very repetitive to it, because it feels like it might, over time, it might become vulnerable to damage. So don't do that. For the pants, we have a really, really nice paint job. You can see a little bit of shadowing, darker orange in some parts than others, which is really nice because it adds a little bit of a light effect to it, which is really, really nice. The foldings are really vivid as well, which is super cool. Now, I want to go back and turn them around to the back so you can see this part of the joint on the back by the hamstrings and by the calf. When you put them as a profile side view, you can kind of see how, we were robbed of material or pants, but there's a reason for it. As much as this is cool, there is a vulnerability to it, because the reason why so much material is lacking here is because it has one of the best ranges of motion on the knee that I've seen on any figure. You see that? Absolutely incredible. Super, super cool knee. Very, very mobile, very, very free, free range of motion. There is a vulnerability to this. Sorry, my tongue gets, it keeps getting eaten by a cat. So when you fold the knee all the way in, this little cap of the knee can fall off, but it's not a big deal, because if it does, you can just pop it right back in. You see that? So it has a couple holes right here where you can just pop it right back in. This is not an isolated case. I've seen other reviews of this figure where the same happens to the person making the review. So it's completely normal. Don't panic. Don't freak out if this happens to you. But yeah, I just wanted to go over this detail right here on the back knee joint. Now, oh my God, look at how beautiful he is. But right here on his feet, we can see the little boots right here, very Goku style, but a little bit darker in color, which is really, really cool. You can extend and flex the foot, boom, up and down. And also the toes, up and down. However, as much as the foot can rotate side to side, I wouldn't try and force it, 360 degrees again, because you can feel the resistance on the joint trying to not turn that, that much around. But that's okay, because every figure that I've come across is different in a way than another. Even though they share similar mechanics, they're all very different in some parts than others, like I said. Nothing's perfect in this world. The only thing that's perfect is Cell. Okay, but we already covered them. Anyways, that's Krillin right here. And now what I wanted to do is just go over some of the accessory details. So I'm gonna go with the hands right here and just show you some of the features for the hands that it came with. So to remove the hand, very simple. Just hold on to its forearm, pull on the hand, very nice and easy. Okay, and then just switch hands. You can switch to an open palm right here. Again, very nice and easy. Pull it out, pop it, and then you can choose, say, one of these palms right here on the side. Right here. Very similar to the previous one, but a little bit different. He's saying hi right there, so say hi, bike. But anyways, you see what I mean? So all of the hand pairs are very, very similar. So yeah, very easy to remove and to put on. Now I'm gonna show you one right here that I thought was super, super cool, and this is the little bag that Krillin is holding that contains the sensu beans. So Stay healthy, people. Eat your senzu beans. Okay, so right here, very, very cool. Now, I wanted to go over the head detail as I showed you earlier, as I told you, and the neck as well, because this is a very different neck structure than what we're used to. So what I'm gonna do right now is just put Krillin right here. Don't follow me, Krillin. So I'm gonna pull the little head pairs that came in the box, so you can see what I mean. This was something that kind of caught me off guard, but it is in no way a bad thing. So we have one of the heads right here. We have another one, and then we had yet another one, a little scare face right here. Now all of these faces come with a little attachment, each of their own, has one, as you can see, 1, 2, which is fully removable. So all you have to do, very nice and easily, pull it out. This is like a cylinder structure base for a head, and as you can see, the whole of the attachment for the head and the neck is very, very wide, because when you remove the main head, you also end up with an underlying cylinder structure under the head. So you can see the neck right here, and then like a cylinder on the top being attached by a little peg right here. You want to be very careful with this. Do not overwork it. Don't try to be funny with it. Don't stretch it too much, because it does not come with a replacement. Now, all you have to do is just stick the head. Okay. Now, as far as the head goes, you can move it to the front, extend it to the back, tilt it left, tilt it right. However, the biggest issue that I found with this figure is that turning the neck side to side is very, very challenging. I will definitely 200% not recommend that you try and turn the head 360 degrees, because the peg will break. It is not meant for that. The neck is this figure's biggest weakness. However, I think the reason why they did that was because given that this figure is very compact, a little bit of an angle, too much to the front, to the back, to the side, will make this figure lose its balance a little bit. That's my best guess. I do not know, but this is definitely a very different neck attachment that we're used to. It's not a complaint by any means. It's just very different. But it does have a little bit of restricted range of motion here, unfortunately. But other than that, it is an absolutely great figure. Painting job is, it's right there on point. The cravings, the sculpting of this figure is absolutely great. The facial expressions are really, really just so out of this world. They're really expressive, and I believe the reason why that is because given that Krillin in the manga and the anime has very unproportionate body parts, especially the head, it makes the expressions really, really stand out. Even though they're very simple, they are very, very cool looking, because again, I believe this character's head is bigger than the rest of all Dragon Ball Z characters, and thus it really adds on to the facial expression effect. So it's really, really cool. Very smooth on the paint, it has, its eyes, classic, do not have like a white background. We have like his 6 little dots right here, fully bald. No nose, of course, because in Dragon Ball, if you ever want to be strong, you have to be either a monkey, an alien, a god, have 3 eyes, or have a nose. But our beloved Krillin doesn't have a nose for whatever reason, but we still love him. I love him, and you do too. I know it. So this is a really, really cool picture overall. Very, very compact, very creative that you can get with it. You can do tons of things with it. Now, I am aware that there are several versions out there of other Krillin figures by SH Figuarts, such as the one where he wears the Saiyan armor in Namek. And also, not too long ago, they released a younger version of Krillin when the Saiyan saga happens. But this is by far my favorite. I think I'm gonna stick with this one just because it's so cool. This is Krillin at the during the Cell game saga. It is so cool, and you can definitely see that he, no matter what facial expression you put on him, right here, right here, right here, he is just not having a good time. He seems to be really stressed out, whether because he's chasing after Cell and he's trying to stop him from absorbing people's lives, or because, you know, he just saw Cell and witnessed him absorb 18, number 18, his future wife to be. Whatever the reason is, this guy is not having a good day. But he is extremely beautiful, very, very, just look at him, every angle you look at him, he is just so good. Such a volatile character to pose with, you know, a lot of variety of posing. Best knee articulation I've seen so far in my figures, but not so much great on the neck. Other than that, this is a great figure. This is a really beloved character to many of us because we know the importance of Krillin and the huge impact that it had in each and every saga, you know, from the events on Namek to Cell, to the Tournament of Power, even during Majin Buu saga. This guy is the strongest human being there is, and in my opinion, this is just a great figure to have overall. You know, it doesn't take a lot of room or space to be displayed, and you can get very creative with it. Now, up next, I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been cooking up for you guys as far as posing, etc. You can do that with many accessories that you can buy for very cheap online, or just stuff that you have at home. If you made it to this age, like for example in my 30s, if you made it to this age to where you managed to save some toys from your childhood, I promise you, you're gonna make, you won't regret it, because you can use those with this guy right here. I'm gonna show you what I mean just now. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Soon I will bring you more content as far as figures go, and I'm gonna show you some of the magic that I've been able to garner with this guy. So thank you so much for watching again. Until next time, eat your senzu beans, eat them, eat them.